Good afternoon, world. And it's been a while since I started a soap safari out with those words, but welcome back to yet another episode of Tanda Tula Soap Safari. Heading out a little late this afternoon. It's cooling down, so hopefully the animals are going to be waking up too. But yeah, been on a drive with guests for a few days. Unfortunately didn't take a lot of videos. We had another great downpour of rain, 62 mils, and just the small life after that was incredible. Termite eruptions with them being hammered by the European rollers. For a couple of days these termites erupted. It was the odontotermes, not the big mound building ones. We had fireflies in their thousands, which was just unbelievably magical. And fortunately, despite the lack of off-road driving because it was so wet, the lions played along. They slept next to the roads, but in typical lion fashion, they were relatively inactive, especially on the warmer days. And then, yeah, a couple of sightings of Tumbela and the cub. They just finished the kill last night. In fact, a hyena came and stole it from them. But yeah, we're going to go out there today and see. Oh yes, the other thing that was around was some wild dogs. I had a few really good sightings of them yesterday morning. They had a pack of about 15 hyena following them. So when they did catch a baby impala, it took seconds for these hyenas to go and grab it from them. But yeah, really good. Their tracks are in the area today, so with a bit of luck they show themselves too. But yeah, let's head on out and see what the day brings in much brighter conditions than you used to see me started driving. And starting out with this picture-perfect postcard-esque scene of a couple of bulls, buffalo bulls, a few impalas, just resting in a wallow. Some just cumulus clouds. I was going to say cumulonimbus. They are not cumulonimbus, just proper cumulus clouds, fine weather clouds, dotting a incredible emerald green landscape. Welcome to summer in the Timbavati. We've popped in here to check up on Nyeleti, who is resting in the cool, damp sands of the Zebnine River bed. It was a river. You can see where the water flowed after the last rains, but she is just chilling out, looking quite hot. Try that in English. Chilling it out, looking quite hot, and not promising to do a great deal, although it does sound like earlier this afternoon she was found some distance away from where she is now. So she was obviously walking in the heat of the day, which would explain the panting. As lovely as it is in the shade here of this beautiful riverbed setting, unfortunately our subject that has perched herself on the sand is not doing anything. The odd head lift, one or two yawns, but she's really not showing any sign of wanting to move. So I'm going to leave her be and carry on, see if we can find something with a little bit more life in it. But yeah, always good to have Nyeleti on an episode. She does have a tendency to disappear for days at a time, considering just how big her territory is. But good to have her here. The sun is almost down. I'm just sitting with a herd of ellies here, but fantastically my camera on the front of my phone is not working, so I can't film them. Joyous. My MacBook's broken, my iPhone's broken. Not a good week for Apple products. So yes, let me try not show my face and see if I can film these ellies somehow. Okay, that's better. Found some that weren't right next to the car. And judging by the screams I can hear coming from my right hand side, it sounds like there are quite a number of ellies in this herd. The western part of our concession at the moment, just to the west of our camp, is full of ellies. Not a great deal going on in the east, but kind of along now from the access road to the Sharolimi River. There's just a lot of elephant movement at the moment. Hyena having a stroll down the road. Still haven't been able to find any sign of these dogs, or any clear signs. The guys have had tracks going in all directions. There were a lot of hyena around this morning in this area. It's the second one I've seen in 100 meters now. I don't know if they're milling around because of the presence of these dogs or what's going on. Such acute senses of smell that they can pick up not only the scent of rotting carcasses and decaying meat, but also follow the very scent trail laid by, oh that's too bright, laid by wild dogs as they walk, as leopards as they walk. Makes it very difficult for these predators to avoid the attention of the hyenas. And crossing over where the hyenas began, it's actually why the hyena had stopped to look and listen, was a herd of zebra. Always just such a peaceful time of day in this last bit of light. The sun disappears behind the Drakensberg Mountains, bringing to an end another day in the bush. So our leopard did actually wake up and disappear. She is not where we left her. And the wild dogs have shown up at our camp, of course, because I'm not there. It is now after sunset. We're not going to get there in time to view them. So we're going to rather say goodnight for now and resume the safari first thing tomorrow morning. So see you now. It's another beautiful morning and just leaving camp now, just on 5 o'clock. Gonna go check where those wild dogs got to and hopefully spend some time with them this morning. These are some very fresh tracks for leopard coming past our workshop here. These are female, there are also tracks for male coming up and down here, probably following Nyeleti. So this is the beauty in the world before we normally all wake up. It's apparently called the sunrise. Don't get to see too many of them. Alright, so got tracks for these dogs. These are not the dogs though, these are the hyenas lurking behind them. Almost almost a constant feature when we have wild dogs is the discussion of this interspecific competition between them and hyenas, and it bears repeating just what a wonderful relationship it is. Seldom overtly aggressive. The hyenas want the food that the dogs are going to get, and if there's no food on offer, they become relatively peaceful. A pack of dogs will go to sleep, and the hyenas will sleep right next to them. Dogs go moving, and the hyenas follow behind. Just for the dog's sake, hope that they can get something and eat enough of it, or have enough of their pack members around before the hyenas arrive to steal it away. But there doesn't seem any urgency. However, as soon as these hyenas hear the sound of wild dogs making a kill, they'll be on it. So not finding any sign of where these dogs came out the blocks. I'm just going to go back to where I last had their tracks and double check which direction they went. And gone. How green is this? I was actually watching our one episode of Safari on the Weather Channel here in South Africa's DSTV, and an episode that we filmed just after the first rains came. I was so excited about seeing patches of green sprouts coming up, but you fast forward 3 months and you now have this. It's quite incredible to behold, even if I sound like a broken down record going on and on about the greenery. This game drive of mine is really turning into elephant dung. I can't find any more tracks for those wild dogs. Tracks for the leopards are everywhere, the male and the female. No wonder we never see Nyeleti. She doesn't even know where she's going. But it is interesting because there's poo here. And not just any poo, elephant poo, full of, you guessed it, poo, but also marula berries. Look at these. Marula berries that have been consumed, but they just chuck them in, and you can pull some of them out where they haven't even, like this one. The skin hasn't even been broken. You could probably take that, let that ripen somewhere, and then eat it in a couple of days' time. But if we were to, I'm not going to use my hands for all of that, but just look how many marula berries are left in here. So they're really not even making best use of this fruit. And at the moment, they're very, very bitter. They haven't yet ripened. That's going to come in the next, wow, mind you, we're halfway through January, aren't we? In the next week or two. Normally late Jan, early Feb is when they ripen. But these ellies are still going to be chucking them in. They're not too concerned about the bitterness. Still nutritious, and yeah, they just pass them out. When we chat about them again, I'll once more go over and dispel the myth that elephants get drunk from eating these berries. Basically, I might as well do it now. They require 4 times the daily intake of only marula berries and with no water, and that may produce enough alcohol to get them drunk if they are affected by alcohol in the same degree that humans are. If they're not, then maybe they would require less, but it is not true, sadly. If memory serves correct, I think these have to be left for 4 days to produce 3% alcohol. And the way that an elephant's digestive system works, if they're picking them up before they've had time to sit on the ground, which is very often the case, they're not even going to sit in the stomach that long. They just pass straight through. Now my fingers are full of poo, and I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Okay, so that radio call that started coming through while I was busy playing with poo was just former colleague from way in the north. In fact, my tracker Glenn's brother. The wild dogs are unbelievably far north of our boundary already, way out of our area. So I have really wasted an hour and a half looking for nothing in completely the wrong area. They went back, I can't work out the degrees in my mind, but like they were going this way and they've ended up back up there. I'll work it out on a map and show you just how far out of the area I was looking for them, which means this first part of the video is a waste. Let me go find something else for you. I actually just did the math, and when I say I did the math, I measured it on an app. 6.6 kilometers from where I had the tracks to where they are now, as the crow flies. So they've not run in a straight line, but hey, it shouldn't surprise us. I know how far these things can move. I just didn't think they would do it that quickly this morning. Bugger. And giraffes have suddenly returned. About the fourth grouping I've seen. Wildebeest there too. No, I have not driven 6.5 kilometers to see these dogs. I've come about 100 meters from where they were last night, and they are back here. Yeah, obviously we have a second pack of dogs in the area, and this is the same pack that was around last night. They haven't moved far, and it explains why I could not find any tracks beyond the block that they went into, because they were obviously still in there, and they've circled back around to where they were this morning. Where they were last night. There's our limping dog, and they're off for some reason. It doesn't look as though they hunted this morning. And just in front of where they are going, I just saw a bird of prey, a tawny eagle that looked like go down. And you can see how long this grass is, how they can disappear. So if they lie down, you lose them. There is a natural pan where they're heading. Maybe their powers of weather prediction are better than our weatherman's, and they're expecting a hot day and they're going to go settle and bathe there. But there we go. It's a tawny eagle flying. There's one limping at the back. Got it right there. There's one limping at the back is doing much better. Actually, eventually started putting some weight on the paw when it walks. Won't run on it, but walking it will walk on all four. Now they are arriving at the pan. In it while we're here. The main pan is actually just behind them, but I mean, just look at this setting. Sorry, green is amazing. Gotta love it. Actually the same pan that we had the buffalo in yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon. These dogs are literally running down to our bush breakfast. We had Tumbela checking into the sleep out hide on the last episode, and now we have the dogs at our BB site. There's a welcome table. We obviously haven't got it set up for them. I've snuck around behind, but I don't know if you're going to see them through the trees there. A little bit of movement, but not much. So they've had a little splash in the water. I've seen that breakfast wasn't prepared for them. Quite disappointed by that, I can see, by the angered look in their eyes. And they are now looking to settle down in the showroomie. A couple of them out in the sun. The more sensible on of the lot have gone to the shade, and this one coming in wanted to play, but nobody else wanted to play with him, so he's decided to come back and join the group. They definitely won't be in that sun for too long. It is going to be a warm day, but I can imagine that this is going to be their preferred spot for resting. And they're on the move again. They don't seem to want to settle today. Now heading towards Impala Dam. So let us try get through here. I don't envy these dogs having to run through grass that is taller than them. Yet they do have an incredible ability to keep contact with one another. There is audio contact. A lot of it is scent, but visual is important. And you'll see them when they're running through grass like this, especially after prey. They're bounding, jumping up, hopping along. But yeah, there's obviously a number of dangers, not only in terms of when you're running at high speed, we're running into logs, getting your ankle caught in that, possibly how our one's got a injured foot, holes in the ground. These could cause injuries, probably not life-threatening, but the most dangerous thing is running into things like hidden lions and leopards. So the dogs are not necessarily massive fans, although it's a good time of year for the baby impalas to feed on them. There are hidden dangers when moving through the bush. One of the reasons they like to do it in the heat of the day, when there's less chance that these other animals are going to be active. Most of them are probably retired to the shade already. But anyway, let's carry on. They've gone now. I also often wonder how they navigate in an area like this. You know, I know roads. I know where that Impala Dam is on the other side of this block, and I also know that there's a big woobine tree that allows us to see it. Sorry, not woobine, a jackleberry tree that allows us to see it from some distance away. I can see that tree now. The dogs are running straight at it, but I wonder, you know, do they look at that same tree, know, oh, there's the tree that we need to look for, and run there, or is it, you know, what is it about their mind that allows them to orientate so well in these environments? I'm also in a car far higher than the grass. I can easily see that tree. They would struggle, but anyway, they are heading for the dam. Who needs Impala Dam, and a little wallow on the side of the road is going to do you just as well. Like a runner throwing water. Like a, sorry, updating some buffalo. Yeah, like runners throwing water on their shirt, on their hat. Just keep them cool. This is what they've done. Get that body temperature down. And let's carry on. Yeah, I said it before during the Surf Safari series, it's a real privilege to be able to spend time with such an endangered animal. Again, those facts and numbers, probably only around 5,500 of them left in the world. Kruger Park, 350 odd, maybe a touch more after the last denning season. South Africa's population around 450 to 500, very, very low in number. There's actually a wonderful series of books put out by a lady from the UK, a Remembering Wildlife series, and they get photographers from all around the world to donate their image to make some incredible coffee table books. They've done rhinos, they've done elephants, the great apes, the Remembering lions, last one is Remembering cheetahs, and they just announced last week that they're going to be doing Remembering wild dogs as their next series. So if you are a fan of wild dogs and are a fan of good photography, be sure to look out for the Remembering Wild Dogs. So just on social media, look for Remembering Wildlife, and you can then get a touch of these incredible animals in your home. I can hear some elephants to my left, but the dogs are now angling back towards the dam. So let me stop talking about them. Oh, sorry, that was going to be the point. So it's a privilege to be able to watch them, but I just really wish there were you folks sitting in the back here. I always feel very selfish when I watch them on my own and don't get to share it with people, and especially the South African market that's been so great to us over the last couple of months. They love wild dogs. They really see them for what they are, as these highly endangered, not often seen predators, exciting predators, and they're high up on the request of most South Africans that come here, but also on an international level too. As the years have gone by and more documentaries have been made about wild dogs, so too are we seeing more and more requests coming. Well, I say request, you know, give us wild dogs. Yeah, we can't do that. But when you say, what would you like to see? Wild dogs are often mentioned by first-time safari goers more than it was when I started guiding 14 years ago. So, yeah, great to be able to at least bring it to you this way, although I do wish, again, you're all sitting in the back. Let me carry on. I've been talking too long now. Okay, so after a little detour around the dam, they are making their way there. But there's also a big group of elephants coming in from the south, and I believe some buffalo coming in from the north or the west. So could be a busy spot shortly. What you're seeing happen now is every time they get to a shady spot, they stop for longer and longer. I'm sure it's not going to be long before they are settled for the day. Not having any luck finding impalas at the moment. So their hunting exploits haven't been very successful. Well, there we go. A bigger shady spot in the river, cool sand, nice shade of a leadwood tree, and they've all flopped down there. You see the silhouettes in amongst the shadows. So I think, yeah, we're going to leave them there. And I have enough for one episode, but I'll maybe head out this afternoon and see what else they get up to for the next Safer Safari. But for now, it's been a pleasure spending a morning with them, or at least the last hour of it. Reward for the number of times I drove in a circle looking for them. But yeah, really good to have them hanging around. That's the 4th day in a row now they've been here. Stay, guys. There's no need to go anywhere else. Alright, so we are back with this herd of elephants that we could hear when we were with the wild dogs. And now we can see as they descend upon Impala Dam. Framed by this beautiful jackalberry. Oh, it's a big group. There must be 30 or 40 coming here. You usually expect them to go straight for the inflow part. There's one male who's wandering over there, but the herd are obviously quite content that this fresh rainwater is clean enough. This is a dam, Impala Dam, that is supplemented during the winter months. They've slowly made their way around to the inlet pipe. But I'm also not going to be surprised if they actually get in and swim on such a warm morning already. There is a teeny tot in there. Not even trying to drink with its trunk. It's that young. It's, in fairness, takes a few months, but that thing is weeks old. Always special scenes around water holes with elephants. Now, this is not going to be their only stop at a water point today. Have a drink now, have a splash, cool down, just like the dogs are doing. They know it's going to be a warm day. And then And some clouds building up on the horizon, but nothing significant. But they'll move away from the water, feed, have a rest, and then I'm sure later in the day they'll be back. That baby's out in the open again. You've got to be careful not to get crushed in all the commotion. The level of cuteness just increases every time a baby moves away.
On the northern side of Inglewood Drive.
This little guy really wants to have a drink. And he keeps getting pushed out by the others. But Mom's being very defensive and protective, putting herself in between the baby and any other boisterous young calves that come and try to play with it. You can see them drinking from the trough, but they've very, very quickly emptied that. There will be water still pumping in. It's a solar powered pump, and you'll see the male there. He's domineering due to his size, putting his trunk right on that pipe and sucking it out. And some more making an approach. So we just have the back end of a breeding herd of buffaloes that thought we were going to go to Impala Dam, make it a busy late morning period there, but they've come to a natural pan just down the road. But they've moved off now. I'm not going to go follow them. There's a few Doga boys coming in from my right. But that, I think, is that for this episode of Sofa Safari. Been a nice one. Especially enjoyed spending time with the dogs this morning, so I hope you did too. And be sure to catch up again in a week's time when our next episode will be out. But until such a time, I hope you'll take care, look after yourself, look after yourself and look after yourself. Stay healthy, and we will see you very, very soon. Cheerio.